The idea of deconstructing and reconstructing the police, do you think we have to go to that extreme?
Well, the answer is yes. But I would never adopt the idea, the language of defund the police, abolish the police. I wouldn't use that term. What I would say is we need to make the main thing the main thing. What's the main thing? Public safety is the main thing. We're trying to keep people safe. How do we do that? Is having every single case responded with an armed person with a gun whose training is to use the gun or the nightstick the only way to achieve public safety. I would say that in some cases it is. You get an armed shooter, you need that. You have somebody threatening violence, you might need that. But what about George Floyd, where he was accused of a fake 20? Do you need an armed response to essentially a low-level property offense where nobody has ever alleged that George Floyd even knew that the 20 was fake? And then what about people who are in mental health crises? I mean, if you're an officer who wants to help, but this person just looks angry and maybe they look assaultive, but they haven't yet assaulted anyone, maybe they are in a autistic meltdown. What you need there is a professional who's going to come and ascertain the problem and de-escalate the problem. I mean, how many situations do you need another skill set? And I think to a certain extent, American policing has let punitive measures and tough guy tactics be a surrogate for public safety. And I think that we need to get back to let's keep the community safe. And we will have armed people responding to crises. That is an inevitability. We will also do a lot more upstream things. We will reduce the number of unnecessary contacts. I mean, if you have a camera, why do you need to stop somebody? They could have let Dante Wright go, yes, and then mailed him his ticket for late tax, right? And you know, police have learned years ago that high-speed chases are probably more dangerous. It's probably safer to let that person go than to chase them, you know, because then they get in accidents, kill civilians. So we need to really put public safety as the driver, not I'm a macho man and don't you talk back to me. And if you sass me, I'm gonna stick a gun in your face and call you a lot of foul names. I mean, if you just, what the police did to George Floyd in the very first is deemed to be by our existing law illegal. But in the very beginning, it's like, put the gun up in his hands. He's got the handgun cocked sideways, get the F out of the car. I would submit to you that while the law protects the officer's behavior in that situation because he didn't see his hands, that sort of set the tone for the entire encounter. Yeah. Look, is there an occasion where an officer has to draw a firearm on a person? Sure there is. I believe in officer safety and officer wellness. But if your first move is, show me your effing hands. I mean, you know, and honestly, a lot of people in our society don't believe African Americans are routinely treated that way. That's one of the reasons I'm glad this case was televised, so that the world could see this is routine in certain parts of our country, and in other parts of our country, it would be absolutely intolerable.